Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another day of Vlogtober. Today is Tuesday, October 17th. Yes, that's 2 days in a row. I think that I nailed the date. It is October 17th, and today is going to be more of a simplified, just what I'm eating intuitively vlog, okay? Because I have a lot of like stuff to do at my desk and just like another mundane day. So sharing a whole lot of my day isn't going to be very interesting. Today, I am primed to eat intuitively because all of my meals are already cooked. My husband and I can both eat when we're both hungry. We don't have to wait for one another. The one little wrench in the plan that's not really a wrench at all, but it will involve me not being able to verbally explain what is happening mentally in the moment is we have small group tonight, but small group tonight is actually apparently like a big get together, and the pastor, because our leaders he's the current worldwide pastor at our church. He's having like 30 people over, 8 of which I think we're accounting for. His small group is accounting for, or I guess 6 of us, because the couple is 8, and then one more couple that just had a baby will not be there, so there are 10. There's 10 of us total. Anyway, my point is, he's having like a group over for like fundraising, and there's going to be like a speaker. And the reason that we are going to small group this night is because he wanted us to come and hear the speaker and experience the moment, even if we're not there for fundraising purposes. He just wanted us to be a part of it. So that being said, we are bringing treats along. We actually got a message. It's like, hey, can you all bring things that don't require a fork? So I bought some brownie bites. I brought some mini chocolate chip cookies. My point is there's going to be a lot of people there. So I might not even bust out my phone. So I'll have to tell you what I ate, if I ate, how I was feeling after the fact. So stay tuned to that. But the rest of the day, we're going to be talking in real time. So, well, in real time. It's actually, oh my gosh, it is 10:45. It is 10:45. I've been up here since, I don't know, 8 o'clock. And I've just been trucking away at a whole bunch of different like little things, emailing somebody, doing something with my Haberdash thing, scheduling and writing up some posts on Instagram, just doing a whole bunch of different things. All of a sudden the day got away from me. I also was journaling, which is lovely, and spent some time with God and like did the morning routine thing as well. But man, do I feel like that morning just got away from me. But it also explains why I'm hungry. So I got up, I was conscious around 6:30 a.m. Great. I didn't get out of bed until 6:52. Which is also fine because we went to bed real late last night. So not a big deal, not worried about it. But thanks to the weirdness in my schedule eating yesterday, I was never unsatisfied yesterday. I went to bed satisfied with my cheese and crackers that I told you about, right? I woke up hungry. So I immediately, before I even had coffee, I went to the kitchen, and I knew I had the leftover egg stuff from yesterday that you will remember from the previous day's video, but I never finished it. I moved straight to soup for lunch, so I still had that little extra, and I was like, I'm not ready for that yet. I'm gonna have a bagel. I really wanted a pumpkin bagel. It's the last amount of pumpkin cream cheese I had. Now I'm very sad about it, but I made myself a bagel. Toaster was already out, made myself a Thomas's pumpkin spice bagel, slapped the last of my pumpkin cream cheese on it, sat down, ate half of the bagel, and got halfway through the second half, and my body went, you are done. I wasn't overstuffed, but like something in the back of my brain is like, you can stop now. And so I did. So I put the half of a bagel, so it's a quarter of a bagel, in the refrigerator. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll come back to it later. And so what I'm actually going to do right now, and that was 7:15 this morning. Now it is 10:45 and I'm hungry. I've actually been hungry for a while. I'm probably getting a little too low on that hunger and fullness scale, to be honest with you. But I'm going to go downstairs, and instead of having lunch, I'm going to have that last half of a bagel and the little bit of egg stuff that I had left over from yesterday. So it's going to be breakfast part 2, which is fine because I love breakfast. I could eat breakfast for every meal. I'm a big fan of breakfast. So that is what is going to happen. And then I'm going to finish that. We'll see where our hunger levels are at, and that will determine whether or not I continue to eat or I let it be for now and come back to food later. Okay, my husband was down here on meetings, so I filmed a clip of this already. But now that he went back upstairs, I can tell you what's happening. It is currently 1:41 p.m. I am back from my walk, I have stretched and things of that nature, and this is going to be my lunch. This is just a little bit of the chili that I made yesterday with some full-fat shredded cheddar cheese in it. And then I wanted a little bit more fat because this chili is for better or for worse, like totally fat-free. Truly, like minimal, negligible fat, except for the cheese I add to it. So I decided I wanted some of my spicy cucumbers, is what I call it. And what I do is I make spicy mayo out of avocado oil-based mayo and sriracha sauce and a little bit of soy sauce, and then I just throw the cucumber chunks in there and sauce them. That's what that meant, sauce them. And I have spicy cucumbers, like sushi. So that's my lunch. I'm feeling a little need for something sweet, so I'm gonna have these 2 mini cow tails to satisfy that itch, so to speak. Here is my soup. It is 5:29 p.m. and so I'm just eating a bit of soup before we go to small group tonight, and we know that there are going to be treats and stuff there, so I kept my serving size a little smaller than I normally would have had it because I want to have some of the treats while I'm there. So this is my soup. Okay, so obviously it is the next day now, and like I said would happen, I did not bust out a phone, a camera, anything while I was at small group last night. Small group, actually, we weren't exactly sure what to expect because it wasn't a normal small group meeting. We actually ended up going, our small group leaders were hosting Ukrainian missionaries, and the Ukrainian missionaries invited other people who are typically donors of the organization that they work for called Steiger International. And our leaders didn't know who was being invited or anything of that nature. They just offered their home to be a hosting place for this informational meeting about what is happening and how people are coming to Jesus in Ukraine in the middle of the war. And so they had us come as small group members just to listen, just to see how God is moving and see what's happening in the Christian faith amidst war. And it ended up being a wonderful, wonderful conversation, very inspirational, very heartbreaking, but also full of hope and joy. And listening to these Ukrainian missionaries was really profoundly heart-changing, truly. And anyway, so we got there and we brought our stuff. We kind of felt a little bit like we were the hosts and like this was our house because we didn't know anybody else that was coming in any more than they did. And you know, I helped set up some couple dessert things, whatever. It was fine. But my husband and I looked at each other. We're like, do you suppose they invited us just so they had people that they knew here? And I was like, maybe, if that's possible. And you know what? That's okay because we are their community. We are their family. That's our job. So we showed up. But it was a great time. But there were so many people, all of whom we did not know there. And so I did not feel remotely comfortable busting out a camera. So here's what happened. There was a nice spread, strawberries and grapes and brownie bites and mini cookies and funfetti cookies and chocolate covered salted caramels and Oreos and Reese's pumpkins and nuts and a really lovely little spread that was available. And so after I ate my small bowl of soup, which was absolutely the right answer, before we went in to sit down, so we were there for probably an hour, and then I sat down with a plate and I got a half of a slice of little pumpkin bread, a half of a little slice of banana bread. I'm trying to repicture my plate. 1 brownie bite, 2 mini chocolate chip cookies, a salted caramel, but I kind of had one of those in the kitchen as well. So I had 2 salted caramels. I put a Reese's pumpkin on my plate, and I put, there was one more thing. What was the other thing? No, maybe there wasn't. There wasn't another thing. Oh, a couple strawberries. A couple strawberries is what I had on my plate. I forwent the funfetti cookie things. They just didn't look appetizing to me, but everything else looked appetizing and was very, very good. And so as I'm sitting there and we're all, you know, gathered around and the Ukrainians are talking and I'm eating, I did notice 2 things. One, I started to get a little beyond comfortable fullness. 2, I naturally stopped when I acknowledged this. So what ended up happening was I got through like 85% of my plate, and the only thing that was left was one of the chocolate covered caramels and the Reese's pumpkin. And so I ended up stopping eating, and I probably listened for about another hour, and then I decided to eat my caramel. And then the Reese's pumpkin actually went in my purse and came home with me, and I haven't eaten it yet. So I was like, oh, well, that's an interesting thing. So was I perfect in terms of completely listening to my body? Did I maybe overindulge a little bit? Yeah, probably. I probably indulged a little bit. But it was fine. I was also not uncomfortable. I just got home, knew that I wasn't going to eat anything because I wasn't hungry. So when my husband went to the refrigerator for a before bed snack, I didn't even think about it. It did not cross my mind to think about this. And so I just got ready for bed and it was fine. And I woke up this morning not terribly hungry. And so I didn't have breakfast until about 10 o'clock and really not a big deal. No big deal at all. And here is the fascinating thing. Once again, this is the second time in a week that just for funsies, just to see how things affect me on the scale. And let me make something clear. I am now within the 1 week window of ant flow coming, which means that from this point forward, actually from yesterday forward, it was 7 days. So I'm en route to PMS land. We're already in PMS land, just on the border. So in theory, my weight should be going up. My weight again went down. It wasn't much. It was only 0.2 down from yesterday, but that's still not nothing. Not nothing. And it's again, and I'm going to keep saying this, my body is validating my choices because there was no restriction, there was no tracking, there was conscious awareness, there was mindfulness. I know there's going to be fun treats that I want to partake in at this get together. Therefore, let me have less soup than I would usually put in the bowl. I was going to say, let me have 1 cup instead of 2, but I didn't measure, so I have no idea how much soup I actually had. But what my brain wanted me to put in the bowl, I was like, let's take a little less, knowing that literally an hour later, I will have access to other snacks. And just using this mindset, I ate breakfast and it was delicious, but I wasn't hungry for all of it. So I put the bagel back, remember that? And so I ended up eating that around lunchtime. So I ended up eating lunch a little later. So I had a smaller bowl of lunch so I would have room to eat dinner. And all of the choices yesterday were very intentional, very mindful, with a little bit of I'm planning ahead, which is totally fine. No measuring still, no tracking still. I don't know how many calories I ate yesterday. I don't know what the macro breakdown of my food or how many points anything was. I have no freaking idea. But it doesn't matter. And I feel satisfied. And my body is responding in a positive way. My body is beginning to respond to this freedom, this less stress environment, this food neutrality, this intuitive eating journey in a way that I couldn't even get my body to respond when I was trying to eat in an intentional calorie deficit, which is just absolutely mind-boggling to me. So that is where I'm at with this adventure today. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in to Vlogtober, and hit that subscribe button because there will be more Vlogtober tomorrow. So take care and I'll see you then.